it's the NimCast. Oh no, it's the NimCast. Oh, it's the NimCast. Oh no, it's the NimCast. Oh no, it's the NimCast. Oh, it's the
Hello everyone, I'm Lord Pasta here with your host, NimCast2299, and welcome
just
to
call me Nim.
this...
Just call me Nim.
Yeah, I call you what I want, Nim, okay?
Oh,
Don't complain.
Am I your slave?
You're lucky you get the respect that I give you, okay?
It's true. I'm lucky that you joined the podcast with me.
Yeah, you're lucky I didn't take over this podcast, but anyways, welcome to the Pasta Cast.
The pasta.
Welcome to the newest installment of the Pasta
Call
Cast.
it the Noodle Bowl.
The Noodle Bowl. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna have to make a new theme song then.
It's the Noodle Bowl. So, anyways, that theme song was pretty good though. I like that a lot.
Really, I made it in like 10 minutes.
It's hilarious. That's the thing. I'm gonna have to figure out some visuals for it, but I can work on that. To go along with it.
Yeah.
To like have like an intro visual. I don't know. For those of you listening now or watching it on YouTube, there might actually be a visual that already there by the time we have this. So, yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about that intro that should be on this if you're listening. So, anyways, this episode of the podcast, it's week 2. So I decided let's start off by how have things gone in the past week? How's your last week been since the last episode?
Well, I went to an Italian festival on Saturday.
How much pasta did you eat?
But of course, I can't eat pasta because I have EOE.
You'd be a cannibal. Yeah.
So, well, no, I have EOE and
that's right.
Well, that's gluten and not dairy.
No. I forgot about that.
They typically put butter in there, and I don't typically eat gluten because I've had bad experiences with that.
Yeah.
So I really can't have any dairy. That's the one thing that I really can't have. But that's literally all my favorite foods have dairy.
Whenever we meet for the first time, I will make sure to bring some milk for you. I will give you some ice cream, some cheese to throw on top.
You're gonna kill me, basically.
I mean, it's bound to happen anyways. So.
Well, funny thing, before I actually found out that I had EOE, my mom told me that drinking milk makes you gay.
Oh, you told me about this before. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the whole deal with that? Was it there was something in the milk that can make you gay? What?
Yeah, it was the type of estrogen that was in there. She apparently thought that would turn you slowly if you drank it enough, you'd slowly turn into a female.
Oh. Yeah, I can imagine some transgender person is hearing that right now, and they're like, "Oh man, I gotta go get me some milk right now."
Yeah, it doesn't work because I drank
obviously
whole milk my entire childhood. I never grew boobies.
Even if it does have some sort of raising of estrogen levels, I don't think it would be anything significant enough to actually have any real change.
I mean, that's what she was saying it would do. So,
it's funny. She probably just read some weird study somewhere and was just like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta stop feeding my kids milk." Oh boy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm actually uncertain about the veracity of that claim at this point because I've heard some things from people that I usually consider credible sources. I mean, I haven't looked into the research myself, but it just seems absurd to me.
Now here's a little test to test if it's actually true. So you're you have to be gluten free, whatever. You have to stay away from dairy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So see if do it for a while. See if it makes you less gay. Staying away.
Well, it hasn't so far.
So far. How long have you been going without it? What? 3-4 months now?
Oh, way more than that.
5 months?
Probably
probably
9 months, probably.
Has it really been 9 months?
No, yeah, it's probably about.
I didn't think so, because I remember when
8,
you first
9 months.
were saying that you couldn't have gluten. I remember that. I don't think
it was. It was last spring.
Yeah, it was probably 5-6 months ago. maybe 7, maybe 7.
Yeah, yeah.
anyways,
I'm a bit overestimating it, but whatever.
That's unimportant. But
It's been a while.
So yeah. So how was this Italian festival thing?
Well, it was fun when I got there. I ate a bunch of French fries, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it,
That
I was
didn't
more
kill you.
French than Italian at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So, I
Eh.
mean, we did get to listen to some music, and we met up with like people who are genetically related to us.
Oh, that's cool.
They're like
That's cool.
they're like something level cousins,
Like how level?
like X level. Like
what?
you know how you have first or second.
Yeah. Like how
cousin?
level
They're
was
like
this?
I don't know how far
Like,
removed.
do you
they
think like
were,
how
so.
like give an estimate? Do you think it's like 5 to 10? Do you think it's like?
I know it's not far removed enough. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, not far removed enough for you know.
That's about it. That's all I know. So we met them there, and we didn't really do much with them. Like we just talked.
Yeah,
And
talked about
then we
Italian
left.
stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's cool. That's cool. Learn more about your heritage. I don't know. That's probably not true.
Like
But-
half of my heritage, the other half's like Celtic.
Celtic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's like a lot of German with mine. That's all I know. I know that I don't know what else there's. Cause
I have some German.
Yeah.
Some.
Cause my last name is German. I'm not gonna say my last name, just cause I don't want my last name out there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say mine either. So
I mean, do people even know your first name?
they probably do. If they look hard enough, they can find my full name.
Mine's pretty easy. It's just take Nimijnev and flip it around. There you go.
Whoa. You don't want to give that away, dude.
Crap. Yeah, because somebody can't figure it out easily. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, we don't have enough fans for people to really care. But you know, one day we'll get there. Once we start having guests.
I
on.
care, Nim. I care.
So here's an interesting little question. What kind of guests, like what guests would you want to have on the podcast one day? Just
I might just bring random people from my school in. I don't know. There's this one guy who's like a literal god at computers or something. He like there's this competition for coding and stuff, and he went all the way up to national competitions and then ranked in the top 6.
Oh, that's exciting. Huh.
Like
That's real cool. Oh, that'd be a cool person to have. Like, it'd be nice, like, to just have, like, interesting people on. Like, people who you think you could have an interesting, like, interview with them or, like, an interesting conversation with them.
we couldn't really have an interesting discussion with him. It would just be him talking about stuff that went way over both of our heads for, like, an hour.
way over everyone listening's heads. And nobody would want to listen to it because it'd be boring.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, but seriously though, like if you could have any guest on, who would you want? Like let's say like anybody. Let's say we were like famous and like we could get anybody on.
Well, the one that I really want is Spike Viper.
Yeah, I know that.
Because
someday
someday
we're gonna
a
get
realistic possibility
that one.
that
That
could
one's
happen.
very realistic. Someday we're gonna do that one, and that'll be a fun. That would be a fun one. Just
if I work up the courage to speak to him again.
yeah, stalk him. Start stalking him again. It's fine.
It didn't end well last time.
You know. Yeah, that's what I was actually thinking about that earlier today. I was like, you know, we could have him on one day, like one time.
I guarantee he's not gonna want to do it if there's anything like remotely that would be like kind of, I don't know, risky that could be said on this podcast like ever.
I don't think there's anything
I'm
risky.
pretty sure.
I don't think there'd be anything.
Well, I'm on it.
What would
That's,
you say?
that's already risky enough.
What would you
for
say
him.
that would be like risky for him?
Talking about political opinions. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, we wouldn't have to talk about politics.
Yeah, but like ever.
Yeah.
Like, cause you gotta understand, he's got, like, within the next 5 years, he's gonna hit 1 million subs.
Is he?
Probably.
Where's he at right now?
He's at 100,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
he grows
Because I remember last time I looked, he was at like 10,000. Jeez.
Yeah, he's figured out how to play the game of YouTube.
Yeah, something I
which is like
still to this day haven't done. More than 2 years in, I'm still only below 200.
I don't do it because I don't have the drive to.
Yeah. See,
like I tried back in the day just because I wanted to.
The thing with me is like I would like to get big, but like I don't like doing things specifically to get more views and get more subscribers like doesn't interest me. What interests me is just like I'm gonna do whatever video I want to make, and then if it happens to get big, then that's good. But if not, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. So
like what my problem is, and I think this is why I got frustrated with being a YouTuber in the first place, is because at a certain point you stop being a person who's producing to meet people, and you start becoming a person who's producing to appeal to people. Mm-hmm. You become, in a sense, the people are your boss, and it's now a job.
Yeah, that's.
And I don't, and for a lot of people that's a good thing because it's a job that they can enjoy. But for me, those two things don't mix. For me, a job is like something you do to grind out and get the money so that you can supply yourself to do the stuff that you really want.
Yeah.
Because if they mixed, then your creativity, your drive is controlled, and I don't want that.
See, so the thing too is like I kind of want like this is why I feel like it's a good idea to try to build an audience around like your personality rather than the type of videos you make. Because if you do that, like people will want to come back because they like you, not because they like the specific types of videos you make. So if you switch to like doing something else more often, they'll be like, oh yeah, I like him. And so that's what I kind of want to do. I mean, obviously you can't control what people come for, but
I mean, ideally I would say yes, but I mean, let's just be realistic here. People are watching a YouTube channel for content. I mean,
I think depends on who it is. Some of them they like their personality. Some of them they just.
That's an added feature. That's like like the sprinkles.
Yeah.
On the donut.
But I think that I think is one good thing about doing this like podcast, is if you can build an audience here. I think that's I feel like because it's such a much more laid back thing, and I don't know. This is also something that like. We can easily continue doing. Like I want to continue doing a podcast, for a long time,
Oh yeah.
Like this is something that's easy to do, like something that you can just kind of, continue fairly easily, and doesn't take up too much of your attention, I guess.
And you could eventually do live streams and call-ins. That
would
be something I'd be very interested in.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm definitely interested in that kind of thing. And having guests on, which actually we should start fairly soon. Actually, I want to try to go out and find other like smaller YouTubers to have on as guests. Ones who like 1,000 subscribers or whatever, or maybe even less, maybe more. I don't know, but just smaller YouTubers that would actually do it. Because obviously, we can't just hit up PewDiePie and be like, "Hey, jump on the podcast with us, please."
Why not?
I mean, we can try. And maybe he'll happen to see the email that we send amongst his millions of emails from other fans, and maybe
you gotta think like
maybe he just happens to decide to actually listen to the other episodes of the podcast to hear what it is, and actually goes, "Oh, I like these guys. I want to be on here." Maybe.
All right. You gotta put yourself in the shoes of PewDiePie here. You're checking your notifications, right?
Right.
And somehow a notification got through from like one of us. And you check the YouTube channel, and it's got just like a small smidget of subs, and you're like, you know what? I'm PewDiePie. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be on their podcast.
Yeah.
It could happen.
No, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm just saying it's highly, highly unlikely.
I mean, he is PewDiePie.
He is PewDiePie. Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not. I mean, one day it'd be nice to actually have him on. Like, I mean. He's not the type of person who's like, I don't go on people's podcasts unless they're a certain size or anything. Like he's obviously not, like he was on the official podcast before the official podcast was huge, I think.
He's kind of the opposite of that. He'd do it for the meme, almost.
Oh yeah. And if he actually like listened to our previous episodes and actually was like, oh, I like these guys, he would actually want to. But
I mean, obviously with me here, you know.
Everyone wants a bit of that pasta. Everyone wants to slurp up them noodles.
Okay. it's a bit too late for this, Nim.
Is it?
Don't,
Speaking of it being late, so yeah, we're recording this at 10. What is it now? It's like 10:50 right now. We started it at like 10:30, right? We started recording this on Sunday night. We were going to record it.
I've already been told to stop, but I'm not gonna stop until we get an hour. So.
Have you? Okay. Well, anyways, we were going to record it at like 8 o'clock, but something came up. Now I could talk about that if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead. Elaborate.
So, I get home from work, right? You know, I'm feeling like I'm ready to do this podcast thing, but I get a Snapchat from this one person that I know, a female person. Okay, and she's like, hey. No, she's like over at her friend's house or whatever tonight, and she goes, hey, do you want to do something tonight?
Ooh, extra yummy.
And I'm like, well, we were supposed to do a podcast, but I was like, I don't want to like just be like, hey, Lord Pasta.
Am I
and like
preventing you
push you to the side just to go out and hang out? But at the same time, I'm like,
you chose me over a female.
I almost did. I was tired, but like no, cause like where she was at her friend's house and she wanted me to. At first, she was like, "You come over here," and I was like, "Well, it was like 45 minutes away," and I was like, "I don't know, if I don't know." I was like, "And we were supposed to do a podcast tonight." I told her, and she goes like, "Oh well, if we don't have to meet here. We can meet over like near where you are." And we went like somewhere really close to where I am, so she drove like 45 minutes over the way over here.
So I didn't prevent you from
But yeah, so yeah, no, and then we went to the park and hung out. She brought her dog. It was a good time.
Right. It's like the first time I went over to house. We went to a park.
Yeah.
And then
Is it okay to say her name on here?
Oh, what like?
I don't
why
know.
wouldn't it be?
Well, no, because I know some
it's
people.
It's her first name. It's
yeah,
not
but
her
still,
last name.
still, some people don't like that.
Oh.
I don't know.
I'm not like doxing her or anything. Like,
yeah, obviously, but like, it's just a thing you're supposed to do, you know. But anyways,
really, it is. She doesn't have an online persona other than her name. So like, what are we supposed to?
I guess. Anyways, whatever.
I failed. I failed you, Nim.
We can say what we want. I can put a censor over it if I have to, if I feel like it. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, so
this is why I'm retarded, Nim.
Don't use that word.
This is why.
That's offensive. No, don't say.
I'm sorry. I'm too retarded to know that that's offensive. I'm sorry.
All right. So yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We hung out and that was good. We went on swings and her friend was like walking through the creek with her Crocs on, and it's a good time.
Very neat.
No, so yeah, that's why I blew you
You're
off.
living the life, Nim, and I'm just sitting here in my
Don't worry, Pasta.
My compartment.
Don't worry, Pasta. You'll find your true love one day.
You mean myself?
Again, like I said before, if you guys are interested, his phone number will be in the description. His phone number is 911, and that's it.
I thought that was actually going somewhere for a second.
If you're interested, ladies or gentlemen, his number will be in the description. He's a very spicy boy, so go after that.
You can pour sriracha sauce all over me.
Yum yum. Lick that up. Okay, so anyways, anything else interesting go on in the past week since last time?
I wrote 2 new chord progressions for songs.
That's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
The thing is with me and music now, like, I've hit a roadblock for like 3 years. I used to make albums every year, and my last one was like a huge hit, and I'd like give them out to people in class.
Yeah.
And then I became like a god, and like they worshipped me, and they made sacrifices to me and everything. But I haven't done that because I can't sing, and I told myself last time, I was like, you're gonna sing in the next one, and it just doesn't sound good when I sing.
You sang pretty great in the intro you made here. Come on. It's the NimCast. Oh no.
It was very cringy. Okay, let's be real. I mean, I'm trying to make professional sounding music. My background music sounds super professional.
That was the most professional. That intro was the most professional. Actually, no, it's not the most professional thing you've ever done.
My voice sounds like a sloth getting violated by a giraffe's neck.
That's a nice visual right there. No, actually, the best piece of music, the most professional best piece of music you've ever done is Double Denim.
Oh yeah. Of course, most professional, most.
So this is a pretty good music. This was how long ago was that?
I made that one like almost like a year and a half, or like maybe even 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know it was a while ago.
We're
not gonna actually. You know what? Here's what we'll do. Okay, so for those of you who want to listen to this, we will save it for an episode special, like either like a 25th episode special, 50th episode special, something like that, and we'll like release it.
Yeah, back when I used to be a rapper.
We'll have that as
prime. When I wasn't an old
Double
man.
Denim
like
is my name.
Now.
I'm not going to go any farther.
My nickname actually used to be the 40-year-old man in middle school. All the teachers called me that.
Why?
Because apparently I acted like a 40-year-old man.
I can see that. I can see that.
I swear I'm like...
A short 40-year-old man.
If I was like superstitious or like spiritual or something, I would think that I was like reincarnated, like, and I'm like literally like a person from like the 20th century or something who just like reappeared again.
Yep. Some 20th century Italian spicy boy.
It's not even that. It's like back when I was little, like I'd want to do certain things that like those like are so weird, like very specific things that like I don't know. It's hard to explain.
No, I get that. I guess.
But of course, it's all just probably in my brain or whatever.
Huh. Yeah, I mean a lot of things are in your brain. Not many are in mine though.
I'm not a very superstitious person, so I don't believe in any of that BS, so.
Anything? Do you believe in God?
No.
I do.
Well, we can talk about that if you want.
No, I don't like arguing about that.
Yeah, because you know you're gonna lose.
No, because like I'm not good at arguing. Okay, I'm just gonna say that right now. But that's what we should do. We should get somebody that's like super religious on here, and have a debate between you and him. Oh, that would be a fun thing.
Great.
We'll find some like YouTuber who's like a really religious one, right? And you can have a debate. And I could be like the mediator.
I totally will.
Between the debate.
I'll tear them a new rear end, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. Oh man.
They'll be on their knees praying to Jesus, if you know what I mean, after I'm done with them.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift.
Yeah, no, I get you. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. So I asked the question earlier, like, what guests I would like to have on. I don't know, like, there's none specifically that I can think of that's like, this is a specific one I would want. Like, I would just want, like, anyone. Like, I don't know. I'd be like...
What about that one guy you were telling me about the other podcast? You wanted your one friend to be on the podcast?
Yeah, my friend Eli and I was talking that you could have an interesting you and him could have an interesting political discussion. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm that's like obviously a realistic one because he's my friend. But no, I'm talking like people that like that might not be for, unless we were popular or whatever, like, I don't know who. I can't think of anything specifically. I'd probably want to have like people from the official podcast on, because I listen to the official podcast, and it's probably my favorite podcast.
I don't.
You should listen. You should listen to them.
I feel left out now. Like I
do you
always
know know who Critical is? YouTuber.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, it's him and then 3 of his friends. The podcast. You can either find it on his YouTube channel, or you can find it on like Spotify and like Apple Podcasts and stuff. Yeah. So it's a pretty good one. They're on like I just finished catching up with it, because like I started listening to it like a month ago, and they're already on like almost episode 100. So I spent the last month like just listening to them all the time, and I finally caught up.
That's neat. I more listen to debates than podcasts these days. I don't know. It's just so funny listening to like people take on people who clearly have no clue what they're talking about. It's like watching like a bunny get like attacked by a bear, like, just in a cage, and they're just like betting money on it.
That's a good analogy. Oh, that's what we're gonna do for an episode special. Have a bunny versus bear fight. We're gonna get a bunny and a bear and have them fight and videotape it for part of the episode.
That's so unethical, though.
I know. I'm kidding. We're not actually gonna do that.
I'm sorry. I'm too autistic. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just got a Snapchat. I just got a Snapchat. I don't know if they probably get to hear the notification.
It's okay. I forgive you, Nim.
No, it's okay.
We accept you.
Yeah, I know.
We don't see you any differently, Nim.
You sure about that? Oh, you probably heard me take that picture, didn't you? So. Hold on. Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm sending a Snapchat.
Should ask. Oh.
Look, this is important.
We're in the middle of a.
No, you know. Okay. Yeah. No. I'm sorry.
Earth to Nim. Earth to Nim. Are you
I feel
there?
bad because I held off the podcast earlier, and now I'm holding it off even more. So anyways, interesting thing. So last week, when I was going to put the podcast up, I put it up on this app called Anchor. So for those of you who are listening to this on YouTube or whatever, this podcast is available on Anchor. It's a podcast app. You can make your own podcasts or just go on and listen to people's podcasts. Anyways, it's a pretty cool app. I posted it there, and what I found out was the really cool thing you can do. So there's multiple different like podcast places. Like you can put podcasts on Spotify, on like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. There's a bunch of other ones. But what you can do, you have to actually submit your podcast and have them accept it or whatever before you can do it. You can't just make an account and post whatever. I guess, apparently, something like that. I don't know exactly how the process goes. But anyways, through Anchor, you can do a thing on here where they will automatically send your podcast to a bunch of different podcast locations and automatically send it to be approved. It's really cool.
Neat.
So I sent it, and so far this podcast through Anchor is now on. Well, it's on my YouTube channel, obviously. It's on Anchor, but it's also on Google Podcasts. It's on Spotify. It's on Breaker. It's on Pocket Casts. It's on Radio Public and Stitcher. Most of those I've never heard of until I saw this, but obviously I've heard of Google Podcasts and Spotify, but the other ones I haven't. But yeah, so if you...
You know what they say, being in places that you never heard of is always good.
Oh, yeah. So essentially, though, if you prefer any of these other platforms to listen to the podcast, you can find the podcast on all of those. So it's cool. Anchor is a cool app, actually. That's a really, really cool thing you can do with it that I enjoyed a lot. But yeah, so that's cool. Hopefully it's not on Apple Podcasts yet. It hasn't been approved for that yet. I don't know if it will. Maybe eventually, but hopefully.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
Well, if they don't approve us, it's because of me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I take full
You're
responsibility.
too spicy for them.
I'm always too spicy. I was born spicy. I literally bust out of the womb just into a bucket of sriracha hot sauce.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Umbilical cord and all, just right in there.
Right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting that happened in the past week for me, because you already told about things that happened to you in the past week.
Yeah, we should probably talk about something of some substance at this point.
Yeah, not you. No, you have a lot of substance. Come on.
Well, I'm not even gonna finish that thought.
Good idea. We do not want this podcast to be NSFW, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, as I was saying, what did I do in the past week? College. Oh, remember how last week I was talking about how I was having trouble getting in contact with people to write my news article that I had to write?
Oh, yeah.
I did that. Mm-hmm. I finally got in contact and wrote the article. It was great. I didn't get it graded yet, though, so I don't know what I'm going to get on it.
Good job.
But I did that. I'm
doing,
proud of myself.
You're doing big boy work now.
I'm a professional journalist now. Actually, no, I'm never.
You're a real boy now.
I'm never going to be a professional journalist. Yes, I'm a real boy now. So I did that.
When you wish upon a star.
That was exciting.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Also, I had an interesting encounter at the barber shop. So I can get into this.
That's not uncommon.
So recently, last week, almost a week ago. Well, by the time this podcast is up, it will actually be slightly more than a week ago. There was. This is actually terrible. This is like really sad. There was in our area there was a suicide, right? From this girl who goes to the school near me. Anyways, not going to talk about that. But anyways, we're at the barber shop, and I'm here getting my hair cut, right? And this one guy comes in. This kid, he's probably like 20-something, 20. He's in his early 20s probably. I'm pretty sure I've seen him at the college, so I'm pretty sure he goes to the college I go to. Somebody mentions like that the suicide happened or whatever. Like, oh yeah, did you hear about that the other day? Whatever. Like, oh yeah, that's terrible. Whatever. You know. Whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, apparently it's because of bullying or something like that, which I guess that was part of it or whatever. And he starts going off about his whole take on bullying and how to solve the bullying problem. Okay. He goes, the problem is we don't teach kids kids can't stand up for themselves or whatever in a fight or whatever, right? And so he goes, here's what we need to do. He's like, they need to put boxing rings in schools, and we can teach the kids how to box so they can stand up for themselves.
Yeah, are you sure he was fully competent?
I am not sure. I'm like,
are you sure he had all of his chromosomes and not a few more?
I don't know. He's like, here's how we solve the problem. He's like, just teach the kids how to box. I'm like,
first of all, like if this guy's actually serious, like, this is the state of America, okay?
He was dead freaking serious. No, okay, and he doesn't understand. Like, okay, you realize most of the like bad bullying problems that lead to like suicides and stuff aren't even like physical bullying.
Yeah,
so, like,
most of them aren't physical. Most of them are just societal.
Learning how to fight isn't going to help you, you know? I mean, yeah, sure, there are some physical bullying or whatever. And also, like, do you think, oh, yeah, just teach them how to box. That'll solve the problem. Whatever. Like, I don't know. It's just...
You know what most of it is? Most of it is they don't fit into society, you know? And what are you really going to do about that?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is being more accepting of people's differences rather than sort of like making people feel like weirdos and outcasts because they're different. I think that's probably a big thing. But
yeah, I mean, ideally.
Or I mean, no, actually, ideally,
actually,
no. Ideally, the schools need to make room in their budgets for to build a boxing ring and teach the kids how to box.
Yeah.
Ideally, that's how you solve all of the bullying issues in this country. So, And it's funny, like, I didn't say anything. I was like, I'm not even gonna try to, like, talk against this, because he's one of those people who's like, you know, you can't argue with him. You know, one of those people. And so, like, the barber, he's like, he goes, he's just sitting there like, yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure if that would really solve the issue. Like, he's like trying to like talk against him, but not like fully, you know, he doesn't want to like get him riled up or anything.
Yeah, it's a customer. You can't do that.
Another thing, he wasn't even saying it in like a casual way. Like, he was saying it in like a big, like, angry kind of way. Like, oh, what they need to do is, you know. And like, there's this woman there with her like young kid waiting to get a haircut and everything, and I'm just there like, oh my gosh, it was embarrassing.
Euthanize them, put them down.
But like, no, I swear, like, I've seen this kid at my college. I'm pretty sure he's in the major that I'm in, the same major that I am in. I think. I don't know, but
By the way, everybody, if you can't tell, that was sarcasm.
Yeah, I think they got that. They better.
No, they need to understand. I don't actually think that individuals need to be euthanized. I just need to clarify that.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
By the way, Lord Pasta, I want you to be proud of me, because I just got a Snapchat back from the person I was Snapchatting before, and I am not responding. I just left it.
I am very proud. You know this, Nim.
I know. You're proud of your little boy. He's growing up.
I'm so proud of you, Nim.
Daddy Pasta.
You're a big boy now.
Yay.
You know what we do to big boys here on the NimCast.
You know what we do to big boys on the NimCast. But, yeah, we teach them how to box. That's what we do with them, actually. So they can defend themselves. So they can end bullying.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, but, like, I'm just imagining that, like, yeah, like, the next school board meeting at our local school, they're just gonna be like, all right, some guy's just gonna come in, you know what? You know, we need to raise funds in the budget, make room in the budget for this new thing, this new anti-bullying tactic we have, and everybody's just like, oh, yeah, what's that? What are we gonna do to help fight bullying? Well, it'll be to build our boxing ring. I can just imagine everybody just sitting there like,
literally.
wait, how does that fight bullying?
Yeah, how does someone's brain make that connection? Like the solution to bullying is everybody learns how to fight. Like, how does that even solve the problem?
I mean, the idea is like, okay, like, I understand his idea behind it, which is like, so that
teaching them how to fight doesn't stop them.
So kids can fight back if they're being beat up or something. Like, I get that. But
the goal is to stop the fighting. It's not to.
But I don't know. Like, it just seems like it's this idea that a lot of people have where they're like, oh, there's just, all you have to do is this, and that'll fix the problem. Like, a lot of people have this idea of like, there's just a simple answer to everything. Like, oh, you just have to do this, that'll solve the problem. Oh, this will solve all of our problems in this country if we just do this, or if we just, like,
build a wall.
People think there's a simple answer to everything when, like, every issue is so multifaceted and complex.
When there's really no answer to anything.
You know, that's like, if there was a simple answer to everything, then yeah, we'd be able to create a perfect utopia already. If there was a simple, easy answer to everything, like, I don't know. Just teach them how to box, man. Just teach them how to box.
Totally.
But
that's the way to be.
I'm just waiting for like a new announcement from our local high school. Like, all right, we are now building a boxing ring.
Yeah. Okay, we've gone on too long about that topic. Something else. Move on.
Something else.
Give me something else to talk about, Nim. Come on.
Let's see. That's most of the interesting things that happened to me this past week. There was school. I'm trying to think if there's anything interesting that happened at school. I don't think so, other than the article I had to write. Yeah, there's really nothing. Wow, I have a pretty boring life, and I worked. That was mostly it. So do you have any interesting topics? See, I'm trying to bring up all the topics. You bring something.
All right. Let me use my my superior intellect, as is evident.
Ooh.
From this conversation.
I see.
Let me just flex my my
Brain.
frontal lobe, my what's the other one? Neocortex. Yeah,
Neocortex.
I'm flexing them. Yeah, brain bits. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Okay. So, let me think. I can talk about some of the conversations that I listen to people debating about, or some of the topics that people usually discuss, if you would like.
We can go over something quickly. There's something I was thinking about talking about, so go over that quickly, and then we can go into my thing.
Well, we already know that my idea is going to be better than your idea. So
yeah.
do we even need to?
Just.
All right. Okay.
Going
I need to shut up. Okay. So, do you think that humans have free will?
This debate always not confuses me. Like, I understand the debate, but like it always like I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Yeah, it is very confusing because it's very semantic.
Yeah, it's
written.
complicated.
It's very easy to get pulled into a semantic trap. But I can tell you my position,
Sure.
and then I can see if you disagree with that. So, I firstly believe in myself, axiomatically, because myself is self-evident to myself. I cannot prove that I exist to you, but I am self-evidently existent to myself. So from that, I conclude that my experiences are valid.
Okay.
And these experiences construct a reality around me that I assume is consistent and that I assume can be understood through, and this is skipping a lot of steps in the process, but through the scientific method. And because I accept the scientific method, I must also accept a scientific view of reality, that reality is consistent and is determined, and that there are laws that govern how things within reality work, and that those laws can be understood. And so therefore I come to the understanding that I and all other minds in the universe are the product of physical constants or physical determined laws of the universe. Basically, I come to the conclusion that we are part of the universe, and therefore we are governed by the same laws that it is governed by. And so, in the sense that I believe that we are somehow metaphysically a unpredictable and a ultimately unpredictable being, I don't believe in that. So therefore I would say I would not believe in free will.
Okay.
I guess that's the most concise way of me putting it.
There's the quickest way to lose half our listeners. They're bored by that, and they're just like, all right, I'm done. No.
Really, that's probably the most interesting thing that's happened on this podcast.
Yeah, but you realize people who are on YouTube, like, they're going to be like, oh, boy, what is he talking about? I don't know. I'm bored. And move on. So.
Okay, look, Nim, the podcasts and the discussions I listen to are about 10 times more quote-unquote boring than that is, and they still get like true. Thousands of views.
That's true. Do you think people are coming to the NimCast for that kind of thing, though?
Yes. I mean, why not?
I mean,
I just educated them.
I mean, currently nobody's coming to the NimCast, but for anything. But
well, okay. Look, Nim, that was my case. Do you agree or disagree with it?
I'm not completely sure. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, well that's honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This is the honest podcast. The honest.
And look, if I come off a certain way in this podcast, I just want to make something clear. I am currently quite tired because I got up early today.
Yeah, and you're up later than you probably were expecting to be. Mm-hmm. Because somebody had to hold the podcast off. I wonder who did that.
Yeah, who did that, Nim?
Some bastard. I can't even
think
of a word.
I'm just struggling to understand why we can't talk about that. Like, why is that too much to talk about?
No, we can. It's just the thing is, if we're gonna talk about something, like it's more or less if we have a discussion on it. I don't really have a lot to add to that discussion right now. Like I can't really think of anything to say about it. So like, then it would just be like you talking about something and me just sitting here going,
Well, do you believe in truth?
Yes.
What is truth?
This is a difficult thing. Truth is what's true. Truth is
Okay, that's fair enough. I generally define truth as that which I accept as real.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
that which
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a bit of semantics.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I would go.
is usually something that is self-evident to me, or that is proven to me.
Okay,
But
okay,
ultimately,
I would
I'm
go
the
with-
judge of what is true and what is false. And
Okay.
respectively, you would be for yourself.
Yeah. No. Okay. From that. Yeah. I guess I would say the same thing in terms of what I think is truth. Yeah. Sure.
And so, do you think science is a method that is accurate in finding truth?
I guess so. For the most
You
part.
guess so. Well, it's a self-correcting, incomplete theory model, logical model to understanding reality in the universe. So it's never perfect based on our observations, but it continues to refine itself.
Okay. Yeah.
So ultimately, if you agree with that, you must agree that there is something, that reality is understandable, and that there are laws that can be understood and discovered within reality.
Right. I guess I agree with that.
And that we are subject to those laws because we are within reality.
Right. No, I get. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I guess when it comes down to that, now.
Yeah, but the free will person will say.
My thing about the free will is, okay, so, I said earlier that I do believe in God. Therefore,
Exactly,
I believe in the supernatural, the things that are beyond
metaphysics,
scientific.
Above.
Right, that are beyond scientific things, So
yes.
I think of a human being as somebody who is sort of connected
to the unknown.
Right, somebody who is physical.
Mm-hmm.
You have your physical body and brain and everything, but you also have like a soul, which is and they're sort of connected in a way. So it's like you're both physical and I don't know what's the word, like spiritual, I guess is the word, or spiritual or supernatural or whatever word you want to use. I don't know. So that's sort of my way of viewing it. So in that way, I think we have free will, I guess, but I don't know.
Very interesting. That's the common position actually that most people give.
Yeah, I think
the problem that I have with that personally is the entire universe seems to be described I want to know things, the most true things and the least false things as possible. And I know that I exist, and I'm pretty sure that I'm a mind similar to yours, and that you exist in reality, and so that therefore I exist in reality. But the claim that there is something else which is not understood, which is above that which is in the universe, or metaphysical, is a claim for which I have not received adequate evidence, or
I
a
get
claim that has not met its burden of proof for me.
Yeah, I get that. That's a completely understandable position to stand on. The way I view it is more like, so I always see it as like, as somebody who's a believer, okay, Christian, I guess I'll say. Well, yeah, I'm Christian. I see it as more of, you have a spiritual connection to it, so you almost feel it, kind of, so you kind of like just know it to be true. It's sort of a weird thing. I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like, I agree, there's no like real hard evidence of it, kind of. There's no real like, like there are people who try to like scientifically prove the existence of God, which I'm like, yeah, you can't really do that, I don't think. It's more, it's the belief in God is all faith based. It's all based on having faith in something that you can't see. That's what it is, So.
Well, it would be self-evident to you, much like my existence.
Yeah, exactly. Like
is
to
what
me,
it
it
would
just
have to be.
seems. Yeah, exactly.
Like, technically speaking, from my point of view, stimuli enters my body and is interpreted by my brain,
Mm-hmm.
and I apply logic to it to determine what is and is not real.
Mm-hmm.
And if something contradicts with something else, I have to determine which is the real thing and which is the fake thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't go around questioning whether I had stimulus input or not. So if I feel a wall, I'm going to say, yeah, a wall is there. There's a wall. There's something there.
Right.
If you feel something other than reality, something beyond you, you would feel that. However, I don't feel that.
Yeah. No.
And it is
I understand
impossible
that.
by definition for you to prove that to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it's real or not real.
Right. Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's something that, and I think that's why, I think that's why a lot of people believe in God and everything, and which is why I feel like it seems weird that a lot of people because I understand, I understand that, and I understand why people don't. So it's like because of what you were just describing. So but there's a lot of people who are kind of don't understand it, so they're just kind of I don't know. Those Christians out there who are like, oh, that idiot doesn't believe in God. You know what I mean? They think you're it's they're like, oh, it's so obvious. How does he not believe in God? Kind of thing. And it's like, well, you don't know, you can't experience what he experiences. You can't understand how other people understand things, or view things the way somebody else does.
The problem comes is when they claim that this meta being can somehow interact or change things in reality. For example, answering prayers. This is a claim that affects reality, a reality that is observable by me.
Right.
And if your claim that this meta being exists, then is true, then you should also be able to validate that prayer also exists if that's something that you're also claiming,
Mm-hmm.
or that it has some type of effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not personally seen any effect demonstrated by that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. You don't have
the
any
people, therefore, I would say, okay, the people making that claim, maybe there's something going on there, and maybe there's some kind of contradiction going there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They shouldn't be believing what they are believing.
Yeah.
Because we're both in the same reality, and we both have the same data in that circumstance.
Right.
But of course, there are answers to all these things that people have come up with. Like, for example, the prayers get answered, but in different ways, other than how they were asked.
Yeah.
Which is entirely possible. Or maybe even the meta being does not care about the prayers at all. Or maybe even the meta being does X, Y, and Z, and doesn't interact with the world at all, or simply created it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. I mean, from my point of view, nobody knows.
Right. Yeah.
It could be any number of possibilities. We could be in the Matrix. We could be.
We're all in the
We
Matrix
could
right
all.
now.
The entire universe, my entire existence, could be a daydream of some alien creature.
Huh.
My entire life
true.
could just be the thoughts, the daydream of just some other creature,
Yeah. This is some.
And you could just not exist at all. It just
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. This is some real philosophy right here.
Yeah, but of course, those are all unfalsifiable claims.
Right,
I mean,
right,
we
yeah.
don't know if they're true or false, and there's no way to prove them or
You know what? Maybe
falsify them.
Santa Claus does exist. How would you know?
Yeah. I've never been to the North Pole.
Yeah, exactly.
He could exist, but I have no evidence for him.
Yeah, you have no evidence to believe that he does.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
you're okay. That all makes a lot of sense. So that was I actually did enjoy that discussion. That was interesting. That was good. So, anyways, the thing I was gonna say. So we're getting close to the end. So this will be a quick thing. So I was trying to come up with something to. I want to keep something in this podcast as almost like a a weekly thing that we do like every week as like a something to add, something to look forward to every week for like a listener or whatever. So like I don't know. So here's a description just to give you an idea of what I'm getting at. So the podcast, this one podcast I listen to called the Sardonicast. They talk about movies and stuff mostly because obviously I'm into filmmaking, so that's a type of podcast that I would listen to. Anyways, every week or every other week actually, their podcast is every other week. They do like a movie recommendation, so they'll say one of the main 3 people in the podcast, they'll take turns, like we'll recommend a movie, and then within the next 2 weeks, everybody else in the podcast is supposed to watch that movie, and then in the next episode they'll talk about that movie, and then every week every time they recommend a new movie for the next time, and it sort of goes on like that. So we wouldn't necessarily have to do movies, but something like that, something that's like an ongoing thing like that, where it's like, here's something to suggest for the. I mean, we could do movies if you want. Like, here's a movie that we could watch before the next week. I don't know how well that would work if it's, it'd have to be a movie that obviously you'd be able to, see. I mean, you can easily find movies on Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, maybe someday we could do that.
But I mean, we could even do that now if you want. I don't know if you would be up for that, but we could do movies. We could do something else if you wanted, but yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? What would you want? Is there anything specific you would want to do for that type of thing?
I don't know. That's more your field.
Okay. Yeah. We could do. So, do you want to do movies then? Do you want to try that?
Sure.
So
I don't know if I'm gonna see a new movie every week. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, that's. We could.
I usually see movies like 6 times a year, randomly.
No, it doesn't.
I'm
I'm not saying like a movie in the theater. I'm just saying any movie. So this could be a movie that came out 50 years ago. This could be a movie that came out not yesterday, because it would still be in the theater. I don't want to do one that we'd have to go to the theater to see.
Yeah, we could watch old movies. We could definitely do that. Do reviews of old movies.
So yeah, so here's what we'll do. So each week we'll give a suggestion. So like this week I'll make a suggestion for a movie. Next week you'll make a suggestion for a movie. Like maybe a movie you haven't seen in a long time that you want to watch again, or a movie that you just think would have an interesting discussion that you think that I haven't seen, maybe that kind of thing. Do you want to try that? So sure. I guess I'll give a suggestion, just because. First week. I'm trying to think of a movie that I haven't seen in a while that I'd like to see again that could spark an interesting discussion. See, one of my favorite movies of all time. I'll say this one. So far, out of all the movies I've seen so far, obviously there's a lot of movies I've never seen. We'll do one that I've seen before. Eventually, I might actually do suggestions that neither of us have seen before. But for now, we'll do this. I don't know if you've ever seen Fight Club.
Never seen it.
Okay. Came out in '99, the year I was born.
I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. Starring
Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, and directed by what's the name of the guy who directed it? Let me just type this up for a second here. Let me just type Fight Club in the search here and figure out. I just want the director, just because I like to. Okay, we're on the IMDb page. Here we go. Directed by, why can't I probably know his name, but director. Oh, David Fincher. That's right. That's his name. Yep, directed by David Fincher, starring Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. So find that. You can probably find it on to rent on Amazon or something. I don't know. Yeah, you can find any movie on there. I have it on DVD, so I'm just gonna watch it there. But you can buy a DVD of it if you want. But do you think you'd be able to watch that by then?
I could really try.
It's like, yeah, just set a reminder every day on your calendar, every day for the next week.
Remember, I don't usually pay for things like movies or anything. My parents do that still. So
yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can always pirate if you
I'm a little kid.
You can always pirate it if you have to. find it.
I'm the little kid of this podcast. Come on, Nim.
No. You could always find a free version online somewhere.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
No, we're totally not doing that. That's yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely
Who
not
would
a
do
thing.
that? That's piracy is theft.
But anyways, so that'll be my suggestion for the next week. We could have a small discussion section over it. So anyways, that's probably about all for this episode. Also, if you're listening and you want to join in on the discussion, you can watch Fight Club by then too, if you want to, if you're listening. If you want to join in on the discussion in the comments or whatever. So anyways, that was episode 2 of the NimCast. Let me know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
I started it off very lucid. Now I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Well, you've agreed to watch Fight Club, so that's something.
Yeah, I know.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think of the NimCast so far. Any suggestions for future episodes, future topics you would like us to talk about, any questions you have for us, leave in the comments and all that. Also, if you are, I don't know where you're listening to this or watching this, most likely on YouTube, but if you're watching it on YouTube or listening to it somewhere, I will just list everywhere that it is currently available. The podcast is available on my YouTube channel, which is NimTV, which is youtube.com/c/NimTV. Yeah, there's a playlist there with the NimCast. Also, it is found on Anchor. Just search NimCast on Anchor. You can find it right there. It is also available on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public. Oh, I've never heard of that one. And Stitcher. It is available on all those places if you would rather listen to it on one of those. So, yes, there you go. I think that's everything. Anything else you wanted to mention?
Nope.
Okay. So, Fight Club next week, hopefully, if you remember to watch it. I'll try to watch it, rewatch it. I've already seen it like 5 times. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to the NimCast. I know we suck at it, but we're getting better over time. That's sort of the idea of this. We'll get better over time.
We need a guest. A guest is what we need.
Yeah,
it's just boring when it's just
if you're
us
out there and if you think you would be an interesting guest, then just hit us up and we'll see what we can do. Yeah. So, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you tune in next week to hear us talk about other interesting things and Fight Club. And that's about all. So, thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Peace out.